What's going on, boys? Today we are talking a bit about anger, our future, and probably a few other things. So, anger is a potent emotion. Anger and feelings stemming from it are one of the surest methods of manipulating people, especially crowds. And I don't know if it has solidified for you or intensified lately, but my gut is telling me things are not going to get better. And from COVID, we learned national and international events can happen and they can fuck up your life. And if you've had any personal experiences with malevolent entities or organizations, you'll know people can and will fuck your life into the dirt. And it's almost like they being evil spirits swimming around the noosphere, want something bad to happen to you and others. The reason I bring that up is, again, I don't know about you, but it feels like there are more and more things built, designed to make you angry. And they work. That's the problem. Because if they can make you angry, they can trick you into doing something stupid, or trick you into believing something stupid. And you do not want that, because misinformation is powerful. People know how to make you angry, and they can guess which of a few streams you'll follow once you're angry. You're a baseball, and they are the pitcher, the catcher, and the batter. And to be clearer, I don't just mean people tricking you into doing something stupid or making yourself a target. I mean everything is potentially either misinformation or a honeypot, or being fed misinformation to become a honeypot. It's like the Antichrist shit, the biggest lies are truths. To deploy two more cliches, you are not immune to propaganda, and everything is propaganda. That's one of the reasons your soul, not just your inner voice, is so important as a guiding force, and why, if you need a surrogate father figure to help you find the path, choose a dead person who wrote some good stuff and died well before all this. If he breathes, he's a Fed. Trust yourself and skeletons. But let's say you have successfully been made angry. For instance, in my area, there have been cops kitted up like soldiers suddenly enforcing weird laws. Now, someone ballsier than I'll ever be decided to approach them and ask what they were doing and why. The conversation essentially went, what are you guys doing and why? First answer, we're enforcing a law because it's a law. Next question, which law and what purpose does this law or this thing serve? The next answer, we're upholding the law that says you have to do this because it's the law. And the whole thing was frustrating, testing, probing, sort of. But the tone of that second answer and the second answer itself got me stewing. For a bunch of reasons, just even slightly thinking about them right now in a video designed to discuss the ways anger controls you and people control you using anger and what to do about it is still making me angry. Well, the answer and its reasoning is a two-parter. The reason to manage your anger, and when I say manage your anger, I don't mean keep it inside like a pressure cooker. I mean calming the waters, getting it out, is because you can't focus on what's important when you're angry, or any negative emotion, but anger is, it generates action, which was explained to me by another Vietnam veteran. There are a number of them in our area, and I've had more positive experiences with that crew than I have many others in some time. And the way you control your anger, the way I'm controlling my anger, comes from Patrice O'Neill. The moment you start feeling a way you don't want to feel, analyze it. Even if that means zoning out in a public space or stopping talking, analysis is useful because it hits the brakes outside your mind. Before you say something that makes the situation worse, or you fall into an article hole that will affirm your anger and make it worse, visualize a graph in your head of how you got here. Anything that can draw your focus away for that split second you need your attention drawn away so you don't do or say something. Do whatever you need to do to get out of that snap situation, away from that snap situation. Once you're alone, then you're dealing with that black tar in your gut anger. Then analyze again. Not to stew, again, to figure out exactly how you got that angry. Then think about what you need to focus on and why you need to focus on it. What needs to be done that you can't do if you let other people control you via anger? If you want to look at it typologically, TI and FI types can do this and both get to better places. TI is a feeling function and FI is a thinking function. People seem to forget this. A TI type might focus literally on what needs to be done that can't be done if you're angry. An FI type might think about things that are worth more than being angry, or things worth fighting for that you can't properly stand up for if you aren't focused. And the reason you're thinking about these things is not just to quell the anger or keep it under wraps for now. Hopped up on anger, your attention is a bull in a china shop. You need to move your attention onto something that will help it level out, maybe make it productive, without feeling like you are trying to negate your anger. The only thing that can make someone angrier than something that makes them angry is trying really hard not to be angry just because they don't want to be angry. Have you ever tried to read poetry after an argument to calm down because poetry is supposed to be calming sometimes? You'll rip the book in half because you know it's just a distraction, and an effective one. But if you are aware of things that you do seriously need to focus on, things that might incidentally help you calm down or even make you happy, but you're doing them because you do need to do them, you're going to calm down. And better yet, you're not going to look for misinformation that's going to make you that much angrier. You're not going to fall for some Fed shit. And there are things worth focusing on, things you need to do. We mentioned earlier things are getting worse, and they feel like they're going to get a lot worse. In these trying times, you can focus on spiritualism and or scholarship. You can focus on physical fitness, and you can focus on readiness generally. Those three, to me, are some of the best examples of you're doing the needful, because they are never done and they are always important. And you can actually see gains in all three rather quickly. If you do serious spirit work for a couple months, you're going to get somewhere. If you lift weights just a few times per week, or do 2 to 4 hours of cardio, not even a lot of cardio, you're going to see functional gains in a few months. Same thing with readiness. Examples. Things I focus on because they need to be done. There's always more to do, and they make me feel better. I'm at the range once per week with similarly minded old men. Good practice, great perspective. I am a lot weaker than I used to be, but while growth is coming slowly, the muscle is coming back, and I'm not killing myself, I'm fucking around and enjoying it. And I am wowie zowie doing cardio a couple times per week and seeing results for once. I, as a vessel, am increasingly capable, and I've been trying to wrap my mind emotionally, wrap my heart around maybe, and mind, for sure death. Because you know if things go really south, you are going to die. And it's one thing, logically, to look at that and accept it and not try to wriggle out of it, at least right now. It's another thing to accept it and feel calm water about it. And maybe that's never going to happen, but you can try, and you can make gains. A Christian recently told me, lives are meant to be spent. Getting old is happenstance or luck, and maybe not even good luck. It's like a good saying from the Venture Brothers. I'm sure they got it from somewhere else. You can't teach a hammer to love nails. Your life isn't here to go on and on and on forever. Your life is here, your life is yours to be spent. Probably on what you were born to do, probably in association with those things you need to do, you need to focus on. Maybe something you need to do is help feed the hungry. Maybe something you need to do is acquire as much wealth as possible. I didn't realize there were actual money religions. There are. And if that's what someone needs to do, then that's what they need to do. That's their needful, sir. Now, does any of this emotionally resolve the fear of dying? No. Not for me, anyway. But it helps. And I am interested in learning more about how to die well. And not exactly connected to either part of the video, but maybe what we're here to do is figuring out how to die well. I mean, I still think we are here to become something. Maybe dying the way you're supposed to, or feeling the way you're supposed to, is part of that process. Anyway, don't let glow-in-the-dark people and their lackeys, or the Hylics around you, I hope I'm using that word correctly, get you angry and doing or thinking dumb shit, exactly the dumb shit they want out of you, have prepared you for. Do the needful. I said it once initially more as a joke, but I'm beginning to see why that poor translation is potent. You gotta do the needful. It's needed. You need to do the needful, sir. But that about rippity wraps this one up. I hope you enjoyed watching, because I certainly enjoyed making it. I found 3 gray hairs on my head today. Or not today, actually. This was a few days ago, but I've been thinking about this for a while. Like if you enjoyed, because it helps me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't, because we do this shit sometimes. And comment your thoughts, because I love hearing from you. What are some things you need to do? What are some things you need to focus on that you can't focus on when you're angry? Let me know. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Really, we have a lot of fun on this channel. So much fun, in fact, you can fill it with fun and stick it on the bottom of your phone and run around with it and fill your phone with fun. These new power banks are really neat. That's how much fun we have on this channel, and I look forward to doing this with you guys again in the future.